In this video, guys, I'm going to talk about autism and light sensitivity. All that's coming up. Hey guys, welcome back to the Aspie world. My name is Dan. I have autism, ADHD, OCD and dyslexia, and I make weekly videos on autism and ADHD and all that stuff and mental health. So if you're new around here and you'd like to learn more and help me change the world, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And also, if you're watching over on Facebook, make sure to hit that like and follow button to see daily videos from me. In this video, I'm discussing light sensitivity and how it impacts the lives of people on the spectrum and how it can actually be avoided sometimes, and little tips that I know of anything I want to check in. Guys, welcome back to another video. Super dope. Very excited to have you here. It's the week before Christmas here right now, and so I'm busy just scheduling, doing stuff and watching Star Wars and basically being all Christmassy, if you get me. So with that being said, I wanted to dive into this video. Guys, if you're new around here and you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I follow everybody back, so head over there. My Instagram name will be around here somewhere, which is the same on Twitter, so go check me out. Give me a follow and I'll follow you back. So guys, light sensitivity. People with an autism spectrum condition usually have a comorbid condition called sensory processing disorder, or SPD. Now, SPD isn't a diagnosis that you can get independently of an autism spectrum condition. You actually have it comorbidly diagnosed when you're diagnosed with autism. It is apparent that some people, I guess, would just have sensory processing disorder and they may not have a diagnosis of autism, but I believe that the two are married together. When you have SPD, it's pretty obvious that you're on the autism spectrum, because it's a part of that triad of impairment of how the brain communicates to parts of the world and the universe that they see around them. So how does it work and how does it impact the lives of people? So lighting is a sensory input that hits your system, your senses, like your eyes, and then that goes into your brain and you decode that, and you can then judge the level of lighting that you are receiving. For me though, it's not as normal as a neurotypical person would experience light, because of the way the brain works. When it mends, when you're developing and it causes the autism kind of neurological conditioning, it mends a little bit differently, and that obviously causes all kinds of disruptions in the way a neurotypical person would see the world. So obviously trying to fit into that would be quite difficult, which in fact it is. So for instance, the tube lighting that you see in like strip lighting in stores and in kitchens and things like that, they're big long tube lightings, and they actually flicker at a crazy flickering rate. Now, people on the autism spectrum are highly sensitive to this, and you can see the flicker. So what you often might see is young people, especially on the spectrum, doing this with their eyes when they're in front of lights, and this is a stim, but they're stimming because they are like out of phasing or counter phasing the flickering from the light that they're seeing above them. So this is what this is. Now, this is fascinating. It actually really does work. So if you're somewhere in the lights are these like strip lights and they're impacting you and you're feeling kind of like it's too much, then just try do this in front of the light and it will actually cross phase it and it won't be flickering as much. That being said, I actually take sunglasses wherever I go, because like sunglasses are going to be like your saving grace at the end of the day. If anything else fails, put sunglasses on and you're going to be able to reduce the amount of light coming in, hitting your eyes. Now, why does this happen? I don't know. It's definitely how the brain is wired for communication, and obviously this is exactly how autism impacts people's lives. But one of the big issues I have is I like to have really good lighting, like strong lighting, but lighting that I can actually deal with. So my girlfriend likes to turn the lights off and watch TV in kind of like dim lighting, which absolutely just drives me nuts because I need some good lighting. So like the living room, we have like two lights, and her light stays off and then my light stays on when watching television. It's really funny. And I just have to have good light, because I feel like if I have good light, then I can see clearly and there's no interference from flickering. When lights are dim, it makes things quite hazy, and that's not a good thing. Another one is when I'm a YouTuber, as you guys know, and I'm in this studio right now, and I actually used to have these huge big kind of like filming lights that were just huge, like soft boxes, as they used to call them, and they were quite harsh because they would bleed light everywhere, and it was quite irritating to me, and I didn't like it. It was always just quite annoying. So a company called Newer reached out to me and said, "Hey Dan, would you like to have some new lights, and if they're any good, can you give us a shout out?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, of course." So a big shout out to Newer for actually giving me the lights that I'm using in this video, and I'll show you guys exactly what they're like. So you can see this is like a panel LED LED light with like these barn doors, they call them, which are like very interchangeable kind of doors. And then there's a ring light from the same company here. It's giving me my like fill light. And then the back here, I've got a backlight with the same thing. Now these LED panels are really, really thin. As you can see, they're really, really thin, and they came on these awesome stands, and they're very, very good. Now the thing I like about these lights is that you can actually turn them down and change the color. They can be this like brilliant LED white or tungsten yellow, and the light actually can be filtered down so that it's either a strong bright light or a very, very small kind of like weak light to give you whatever you want. But to me it's perfect because I can film in brilliant light and it doesn't trigger me. I mean, imagine this, I'm doing videos on autism about things interacting with me and like interrupting my field of vision, and my lights were just not the best lights. So since I've had these new ones, it's been a lifesaver. It's absolutely just revolutionized how I see creating videos and making them way more engaging, because I'm not like thinking about like, oh, you know, I'm distracted by the light. I'm actually like, boom, I can control this light. It's great. That was groundbreaking. So Newware, thank you so much. And if you guys actually want, because this is annoying when people mention stuff in videos and they don't link it. If you guys actually want these lights, I will leave them in the description below. Also guys, this video isn't sponsored. I just wanted to chuck them in and give them a shout out because like they were nice enough to give me these lights to use, and yeah, they were really good. So if any of you guys are making videos or taking pictures and want good lights, I will leave these Newware lights in the description below because they're awesome. So that was like my hacks really for dealing with light issues are wearing headphones. You can stim as a last resort, stim out of phase, and also just avoid poor lighting, because it's just something that is going to be apparent. You're not always going to have good lighting wherever you go, which is very annoying, but it's something that happens. The winter is kind of the worst, especially when you're driving, because the sun is kind of low in the sky, and that lowness can be very difficult to deal with because it's kind of like it's a bit full on and harsh. And so I find that the sun is very, very distracting and very disturbing in the winter. But that being said, a good pair of sunglasses. I actually use Ray-Bans because I was lucky enough to have somebody give me some Ray-Bans, and then I bought some when I saved up some money because they're quite expensive, but you get what you pay for. You're paying for good quality sunglasses. Are going to filter out a lot of light, and that's a good thing. So definitely get yourself a good pair of sunglasses. Try and avoid places that have those tube lighting, or if you have a house that has tube lighting, replace it with just LED lights, or replace it with like a bulb you can control the actual brightness of. Like Philips Hue do some great bulbs. I mean, my office, my entire house actually runs on the Amazon Alexa bulbs and stuff like that. So yeah, I think it's something that we can overcome and cope with, but it's also something that we have to deal with. It's sensory processing disorder is probably one of the most impacting part of being on the autism spectrum, along with all the other stuff. I'm just saying it's quite impacting, and because I'm also affected by smells and things like that. So not only can certain light make me feel really uncomfortable, like if I told you we're in a living room and my girlfriend like dampens the light, that actually makes me feel quite upset. You know, I don't know another way to explain it, but it makes me feel quite upset. And then if you think about when we're out and about and we're in dim lighting or poor lighting, it gets me agitated, so I can't focus on what I'm supposed to be doing because the light is like, it's like somebody hitting you on the head constantly when you're trying to do something. You can't focus because you've got this thing just irritating you. But I have the same thing with certain words and certain smells, and like, you know, certain sounds or even certain textures of clothing. That's why most of the clothing I wear doesn't have tags on it. You know, that stuff is just fascinating to me, and it's so irritating. I mean, if you guys understand what I'm talking about, please leave me a comment down below and be like, Dan, I know what you mean, the whole irritation thing with light. It's like somebody hitting you in the head. Let me know if you kind of relate to this, because I'd love to just share that and read your stories and read your comments. That'd be awesome. And I actually read and respond to every single one, so please do that. And if you like this video and like to see more like it, please give this video a thumbs up, because if you give it a thumbs up, it's sharing some love, and love is a good thing. And also it makes me know, oh yeah, these guys want to see more videos on like my personal things like light and stuff like that, because it's always a big issue. Like lighting is a big issue for me. You know, one of the things, like my staples wherever I go are sunglasses. It's so bizarre. I have like so many different pairs of sunglasses, but I have two main ones. I have two Ray-Bans, one driving pair and one just like casual wear. And then this is like my casual wear one, which I'll get up, you know. So these are the driving ones, which are like aviators, so you can see like this, they have a nicer kind of ridge on them. And then the other ones are these like it's kind of like a, I don't even want to call them, I think the Wayfarer, I think that's what they're called, but they're kind of just like these sunglasses that you put on, and they're just so good. Like they just fill out so much light, and they kind of, I don't know, they're just casual, and you can wear these pretty much anywhere, and I like that because that's what you want. You know what I mean? You don't want something that's gonna, you know, be rubbish. You want to get a good pair of sunglasses. But that being said, like I said, they're like our essentials packs. When we go anywhere, we're like, Dan, you gotta remember your sunglasses. I'm like, oh yeah, doof. So it's like when I'm packing my bag to go anywhere to do an event, or I'm packing my bag to go like to see family, or going anywhere, even a day out shopping, whatever. Always packing sunglasses. It's awesome, and I love it. So, guys, that being said, I'm gonna leave it here. I will see you in the next video, guys. Please subscribe if this is the first time here, and I'll see you next time. Peace.